thanks for joining me. So I'm just making some ephemera for my massive journal that I'm making. I'll quickly show you it. It's going to have 5 signatures, so I'm going to need a lot to fill it. Here we are. Don't know which way up it goes. That way. So far I've shown you how to do this flip page, and today I didn't really feel like doing a funky flip, so I thought I'd just make some bits and bobs and bring you along for the ride, as it were. So I'm making some I've die cut these little mini file folders. If you don't have a die cut to make these, you can make them really easily. Just literally cut yourself a rectangle, fold it in half and cut that shape with your scissors, or use your tab punch board or your envelope punch board. They're really easy to make. You don't need to be going and buying them, and I've used some old recycled craft file folders, larger file folders, to make these. So what I've done in preparation is I have cut some coffee dyed paper, just 3 sheets. Okay, I cut them to the width and the height, folded them in half, and I've just run up the middle with my sewing machine and just sewn them in. Okay, saves you. Or you can stitch it with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, or you could leave them in there loose if you can't sew and just hold the whole thing on with a little paper clip. It really doesn't matter. Okay, there's loads of things you could do. So what I'm going to do is just quickly start and decorate. So I'm going to use, what am I using? Ground espresso, distress oxide, because it's quite dark and grungy. So first of all, I'm just going to go around the edge of my file folder, which if I'd have thought on, I should have done first, but I don't always quite know what I'm going to be doing. I tend to, when I start crafting, I have a very, very, very slim idea of what I'm doing, and then I make it up. So that's basically what I do. I haven't made one beforehand to see if it works. We're just going to grab some bits and bobs and use what we've got. Okay, so I've seen loads like this on Pinterest using the Tim Holts die or the Tim Holts mini file folders that you can buy, but they are slightly larger. But you know, why buy what you can make? You can make them yourself. So what I've got in preparation here is, this is a freebie collage that I did on my Facebook group. So that's the whole thing, and I printed it 4 to a page to make them smaller. Okay, I've just ripped it roughly to the size of the front of my file folder, and that is as technical as it gets. So remember, when you get these freebies, think about different things you can do with them. I'm going to show you in a minute some things that I've done with the freebie that I put on my Facebook group on Friday, which was these collage. I did some, so the Vintage People collage, that's what I've called them, and I've done some small, and then I gave some in larger sizes. Okay, and then my Ko-fi subscription group also got some tags to go with them. So I'm going to show you what you can do with those as well. We're going to use those here. So here's one of them, this little soldier boy here, and you can see I layered up on the collage with lots of lovely vintage style ephemera. Okay, I've just run some stitching down the edge there just for a little bit of decoration. I could just rub my, very carefully, just rub my distress ink tool along the top there. I don't want all of that sewing dangling, but I want some of it. Okay, so all we need to do now, this background's done a lot of the work for us. We don't really need to do a right lot, but what we're going to do to maximise it, you can see I've used something else. It's an old piece of cardstock that I've printed on. I don't waste. So we're going to just glue it on 3 sides instead of gluing the whole thing down. Then that gives us the opportunity for a little extra tuck spot. Okay, I've printed this on lightweight cardstock, but it's a scrap piece, not a new piece. Okay, so then when that's down there, you've got a little secret tuck spot in there to put something. I'll figure out what in a minute. Okay, right, so then you just start, obviously, and you're layering up. So I'm going to use, do I want this one, or do I want this one, or do I want this one? No, I've cut him out for something else. So I'm going to use this little soldier boy, I think, here. So what all I need to do now is start and layer up. And these little notebooks can slip in a pocket. I'm going to keep them fairly slim. Or you could glue them onto, you could even glue them onto a page if you wanted. But my idea is to slip them in a pocket. Right, so now you've got the opportunity for a tuck spot there. You've got your file folder notebook. I've actually got a scrap piece somewhere. Where is it? That I ripped off the edge. Right, so I ripped this off the edge of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilise that. And I'm going to put a little tuck on the inside there. Okay, so let's just give that an ink. And sometimes having things just looking scrappy and tatty, it just adds interest, doesn't it? So let's glue that on 3 sides. Are we gluing it on 3 sides? Sometimes I say 3 sides when I only mean 2. 1, 2, yeah, we're gluing it on 3 sides. 2, 3. And because that's lightweight cardstock, that's going to be stable enough for a little tuck. So I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can, get rid of my excess glue, and then if I've got any extra peek in there because of the shape of my file folder, I'll just nip it off with my nails and re-ink it. I'm not too worried. Just nip it off and ink it. Okay. Alright, so now I've got a little tuck there for another one of these little cards. Okay, I'm going to just cut these dangly bits off. And I've got another little card there. Okay, just need to make sure that glue dries so it doesn't glue the ephemera in. Okay, and now let me just show you another thing that I did with these cards. So you don't have to use them as they are. These smaller ones, what I did was I used one of my dies, which is a ticket die, and as you can see here, I've made myself some little tickets. So they're fun, aren't they, and interesting. So we could stick one of those in there as well, or you could glue it on there to extend that pocket. I'm just going to tuck it in there, so I've got interesting things inside this little pocket. What else can I do? Right, so let's just get that in a little bit further. Right, so let's decorate this front bit now. So let me think. So I'm going to put him there, and then I think I want something red up here, quite like that. Or do I want it there? So these obviously are in the style of, you know, like Tim Holts or something, but Tim Holts ephemera can be pricey, you know, so have a look round. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm going to plug my digitals. Far cheaper option than buying packs of ephemera, because you buy a pack of ephemera, once it's done, it's done. If you buy a digital, whether it's from me, other people do them as well, you know, you cut them out, and when you want some more, you print another and you cut some more. You know, it's a no-brainer, really. So let's have a look what I'm going to do. So I just like to kind of plan what I'm going to do first. I quite like this butterfly. It's too big. Too big, that one. Let's have a look. Because I think butterflies can sometimes just add that little bit of colour that you sometimes could do with on vintage style projects. See, like that one's quite nice. I might have that one there. That's quite nice. Yeah, and then have I got a little ticket with a number on? Quite like the little tickets here with like a little number on. Let me just grab my stamps and have a look what we've got. We've got one with a little number. Let's have a look. Those are too big. Those are too big. I've got one in here. I might have to. Not too big. Let's have a look. What's this one? Too big. I need to get some more little tiny stamps. What's this one? So this is the field notes. I think there's some little tiny ones in here. What we'll do is we'll just use part of a number. Yeah, we'll use this because I quite fancy a little tag just peeking out there. All right, so let me just get a stamp block and some ink. Inky, inky, ink. Shall we have have the black ink. Sometimes black ink can be a little bit harsh, so what I do is I'll just stamp it on the deck first. Let's do it that way. Do it that way. Don't matter if it's not perfect, it's just a little bit of something. Okay. Alright. Let's move those out of the way, I'll use those later. So, back to layering. So, oh, it's stamped the wrong way around though, isn't it? Because I want it to go that way. Oh, let's try again. What have I just done with that block? Here we go. So, I want it the other way. So, what I'm going to do is, I want it to go that way, but I don't want the numbers to go on the circle. So, I'm just going to put a piece of scrap paper over my tag as far as I want my stamping to go. Okay, then I'm going to aim for that, just the number and 365, so I don't get the rest of it, the 302 one. Okay, there we go. Happy with that. So I think I'm going to stick that there. We're going to have this here. Yeah, and then we're going to have this little butterfly merging them. Yep, that looks nice. Right, so then when you've decided, don't mess about, just get it down. So let's get this. This would look nice with a little piece of twine or string around, but my hand-eye coordination's absolutely terrible. So for the purpose of a video, I'm just going to hang it over, and I'll probably add some twine on there later, because it would be absolutely painful for you to watch. So what I'm going to do here as well, this is on lightweight cardstock. So again, if I just glue on 3 sides, I've got the opportunity yet again for a little tuck, for a little piece of ephemera. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lot, just something that's interesting, like hidden little tucks for people to come across things. Okay, so I might put like a little piece of ephemera in or something like that. I'll find something that fits. Maybe put a little tab on it. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Just let that dry. Okay, and then I have these ready-made because I know I like them and I use them over and over. So I stamp these on my scraps, and I'll spend maybe 1 day a month stamping heaps of them. I'm going to glue over the top of that. Stamping heaps of them, and then I've got them to hand all the time. Rather than thinking, oh, I've run out. Oh, I've smooshed ink on there now. How have I managed that? Never mind, it adds it adds to the look. Right, so I'm going to have this little butterfly just to add a little bit of softness and a little bit of colour. So let's add the butterfly. And there we go. And that just layers over all of those layers and makes it look finished. All right, so I'm happy with that. Right, what do I want at the top there? Now I could have like a sentiment or something, but I don't think I want a sentiment on that. I think I'm going to grab some washer. Just grab some washer and see what we've got. That would look good up there. I know I've got some of the numbers somewhere. Those are words. Aha! Some of these numbers, I had these gifted and they've lasted me ages. Okay. Let's just grab a little piece of this. Okay, and we'll just add it to the top of there. There we go, that's cute. Right, so I quite like this file. This is a little word from one of my freebies on my group, so I might as well use it. So let's see if we've got a number we can stamp without making a dog's dinner of it. Let's have a look. It's this one. Does that fit? Let's see if it's all going to fit first. If not, I can always leave that bit off. Right. Stamp block, stamp block, stamp block. My desk's a hot mess already. I've only been crafting for about 2 minutes. Okay. Move that out the way. What did I do with my ink? There it is. And again, just make sure there's plenty on, and then I'm going to stamp. I think I'll just stamp in the middle and leave that little word off. Yep, that looks nice. I'm getting ink everywhere. I don't know how quite I'm managing it, but not to worry. Not to worry. That would actually look quite nice just under there, wouldn't it? With, wonder if I can just peel that back and add it. Let's see what it'd look like. No. No, save that for something else. Okay, and then I've got some little tiny paper clips. These ones. Little tiny mini weeny ones. If I can open the packet. Okay. And then I'm going to do a larger, quick scrappy notebook in a moment with one of the larger cards that's in the freebie. Okay, and I just like to add paper clips to things because I think it just adds a little bit of interest. I don't want it there. Where do I want it? I want it over here. I've got glue in it. I want it over here. Oof, they're tight, these paper clips. There we go. There we go. That's cute. A little bit of string on there, which I'll do off camera. I've got my little cards in there. I've got my little ticket in there. I've got a little mini notebook there. Okay. Just make sure I've not glued that all the way in, which I haven't. All right. So that's that. Is that going to catch? I think that this is going to catch. Yeah, it's going to catch and it's going to annoy me. So I'm going to swap it for something smaller. I'm just going to swap it for some mini ephemera. There we go. Swap it for some mini ephemera, something more suitable. I think this is a Tim Holts one. I might save that for something else. But you get the general idea, and that looks really cute, and it will just tuck in, and you've got a little mini notebook. So let's quickly make one with one of the larger cards. What I also did was, here's another idea. I cut one of the other cards out on a, no, that's not it. It's this one. With a layered die, and then it's got an angled sides there, and then you can layer on other cards, so you don't have to use them in the full size that they come. They look really cool. That'd look cool. I might run that through my embossing folder, go over it with some distress ink, and then if I glue that on the top, it'll look like it's a cabinet card. There's another idea. Come up with them all day long, but we haven't got all day long. Right. So next make. Okay folks, so I cut some of the video out because it was going on way too long. So here's my finished items. Now the beauty of these is that I've got a Tim Holts inspired, not as good as Tim Holts obviously, because I'm not Tim, I'm Amanda. Tim Holts inspired file folders with very similar looking ephemera for way cheaper, okay? Love you, Tim, but I can't afford everything you sell. When I win the lottery, I will. So this one here was the one that we made with the little notebook and the little pocket, as you can see there. So what I did off camera was I just added this lovely little clip here. We've added in the back pocket a tag. So I cut one of my tags in half because both sections are interesting. So one goes in there with the numbers peeking out, and one goes in there, and you can journal on the back. So that is that one. Then I continued to make this one. We've got the little clipboard in there, and then in the second pocket I've got just a piece of ephemera. Okay, so all of these are in my digital collections. These are free. The background was free, and the ephemera that's free because I've stamped it. Those words are free in my Facebook group. The tags are in my tag essentials mega bundle. I can't remember what I called everything. And then I used elements from my junk journal essentials ephemera collection. So this one here again has got a tag that I've chopped down So I've still got the interest there. That one's only got one pocket. And on the inside, I used the other half of the tag and made a little pocket to hold some mini ephemera that's probably glued in. Is it glued in? I'll sort that out later. So I've got myself 3 lovely little items to slip into my journal. So I hope that has given you some inspiration of what you can make on a budget for your journal making. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.